Okay, so hey guys, or you're probably seeing this and like, hey, you're not even in your new house right now. You told us that you're gonna be in your new house. What the fuck happened? And yes, you will be correct. We have not moved, though my parents had made me believe that we were going to move like or be fully moved by like the end of the week, but turns out no. And I barely have anything. There's still stuff in the closet here. Got my bed here. The entire setup is here. It's looking a lot tidier though because all the trash and stuff is just in a box somewhere in the other house, and that's the only good part. I have no clue when are we gonna. Probably tomorrow. I'm probably gonna move everything else tomorrow, but yeah, I think I've been doing good today. It's pretty hot. It's been pretty hot, or maybe it's just because I've been outside a lot and I don't really go outside, and I've been helping move and stuff. But it's just pretty hot, dude. I don't care, dude. And like I know it's summer, but oh, I also overcame the sickness. I'm still a little sniffly, but I overcame the sickness from last time. Last time, it was like kind of like getting there, but right after I recorded that first commentary video, just a few hours later, I was like achy. I was even more stuffier. I literally couldn't breathe. And yeah, I was doing pretty shit. But today I'm going to be talking about 3 girls that I have pursued in my life. Seriously. This is going to be like this is from middle school to like 8th grade to sophomore year because yes, I know I'm a senior, but I just haven't been getting any play. So, man, I think the first one might be the roughest. Yeah, the first one's definitely the roughest. And we're going to get into that right now, the 8th grade one. So, there was just this girl that I found very attractive. I saw her in 7th grade and I was like, wow, her hair kind of looks pretty cool. And I didn't see her, or I would see her in the hallways, but I didn't have a class with her until 8th grade. I'm not gonna get too specific because I know some people watching might like be able to, I mean, you're probably gonna, if you're my friend, you probably know what I'm talking about. But I don't know, I don't want to give it away too much because I don't know, just cause it feels wrong, kind of like name drop. Not, I mean, I wouldn't name drop them, but like to be too obvious, I feel like that's basically name dropping. But yeah, nothing's over there. So we had this class together, and I was like, wow, this is perfect. Like we have a class together. I can actually go in for the kill. You know what? I think I did pretty good. Like at the time, I was pretty chopped. And she was like, wait. She was like way out of my league. Nah, yeah, I was chopped, dude. I was rocking the top knot man bun sort of shit. I looked like a fucking Valorant character. She was just fucking good looking at the time. And so eventually, I don't know, I think this was Halloween time. Halloween time. Between Halloween and Christmas time, I think it was Halloween time because we did like a thing in art where it was kind of like related. Or yeah, it was between those 2 months, October and December. And that's when I asked for her number. So it was pretty early on in the year. I put in my big boy pants and grew some balls, and I was like, "Hey, can I get your number?" With my whack ass man bun. She was surprisingly said yeah, but here's the real kicker, guys. Here's the real kicker. At lunch, I would sit with my friends, and then there was also this guy, and this guy and her were both in my class, and they obviously had something going on, but for some reason I still wanted to like I had so or okay, there was a time I really didn't know. Like the guy, he eventually came up to me, or like I forgot how it led up, but he eventually told me that they were like kind of had a thing going on. Not exactly those words, but that's what the idea was. And man, it feels so weird talking about it now, but like obviously since I'm talking about it now, like I mean, it doesn't bother me anymore, so that's why I'm talking about it. But it's just like cuz looking back at it, I was pretty weird. I wasn't like a pervert or anything, but I was like kind of a little pushy to this girl. Maybe not kind of. Maybe I was. That's probably what pushed her away more. But I don't know, man. I would try to FaceTime her. I would try to like talk to her a lot, and it was pretty nasty, dude. I highly regret it, and I never get to apologize either because like nowadays she kind of like she sees me in the hallways and she's just like a very avoidant, and she doesn't really give me a chance to apologize. And even her friends, they look at me weirdly because of my weirdness. I don't know. I was just expecting too much. And looking back at it again, I don't even really know what I wanted from her. Like, obviously, I thought she was like fucking gorgeous. But like, what was I gonna like? Yeah, I was gonna be her boyfriend if she said yes. If she said yes. But like she didn't. And so like what was I really like, all I thought was that she was attractive, that she was pretty. I didn't really have any crazy intention with her when I was like I wasn't yearning that hard, I guess. Cuz I didn't have any like ideas with her. Like I didn't know like what our first date would be. I just kind of wanted to get with her. But that's it, dude. Like I just wanted the experience to I just wanted the experience. And that kind of leads into the next relationship. And these two not relationship, we were never a thing, but these two like pursuits, they are related. Surprise surprise. Actually, you wouldn't have known, so I don't know why I said that. But so this next one was in freshman year of high school. Uh Me and this girl, we met in PE. Things were pretty chill in the beginning. And nothing crazy went on. I did get into a bit of physical altercations with this individual, and we did some stuff, but nothing crazy, just like the average high school couple stuff, but like nothing that explicit. Like, no, I'm gonna just be blunt. No fucking. Uh, Because like, okay, nothing vaginal. I'll say that, nothing vaginal, but I can't really say that because there was some play with that. Let's just say the penar didn't go in the vagin. Let's just say that. But everything else we did. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not everything. She didn't fucking get me out and peg me, but like, like the vanilla stuff. And it feels wrong. I feel like I'm sorry if you're watching this, the girl I'm talking about, and I'm being a little bit too revealing of our relationship, but I don't know. I just had to say it because I don't know. It's fun, and it doesn't bother me anymore, so I feel very comfortable talking about it. Because I've said it. I've told these stories. What I'm about to tell you, like I've told these stories to my friends a bunch of times before. It's not really that much of a problem to me at this point. Because I've said these stories so many times, I'm just like, why not just say it to the internet or like somewhere I can archive it, which is the point of this YouTube channel. I always wanted to have something to keep my memories because I knew I'm not gonna be here, or like you can't live in those moments forever. That's why I have this channel. That's why I'm talking to y'all, or I'm talking to myself more like, or or both. I'm talking to you guys and myself. Anyways, I get too sidetracked. I'm sorry. It would just be kind of a little. It would be sketchy. It would be pretty sketchy because me and this girl, I had the idea that she was more experienced than me, but she probably wasn't that much experience. Cause this girl was my first ever like girlfriend, like relationship, and so I was a bit of a bad boyfriend, I guess. I was starting out feeling around. I can't really blame her for not thinking that I was that good. She didn't say it up front that I was not a good boyfriend, but looking back at it, I can say confidently that I wasn't the best boyfriend. But she wasn't the best girlfriend either. We were both rookies starting out. Fucking brown shirts, and I don't even play NBA 2K, and so don't ask. There would just be times where she would complain about the casual girlfriend stuff. Asking for many things. She would complain about how I'm talking to her. And at that time, I was very open, like about what I say, not in a relationship. So I would discuss gooning to her. I forgot how that came about, but she eventually, like, I pretty much self-reported, but I told her that I freaking goon because I wanted to be honest. I wanted in my head, I wanted my first relationship to be like, I want to come off as the best guy possible. Spoiler, I didn't, and she probably thinks I'm crazy. Actually, doesn't think I'm crazy. She just probably thinks I'm a dickhead. Okay, back to the goon talk. Basically, she found out I was gooning to other girls, obviously, because how else am I gonna nut? She got pretty jealous, which is very right of her, very human of her, very natural. I wouldn't expect anything else. She would give you very mixed signals because she's like, why would you goon when you have me? But she wouldn't even like let me do anything or let us do anything together because she was very scared of being getting pregnant, and that's pretty valid. That's very valid, actually, extremely valid. I would hate to be in a relationship where or a situation where I'm impregnated a girl in high school and I have to fucking play life on hard mode. And also STDs. I don't think she was really thinking about STDs. I think she was just thinking about pregnancy. But now that I'm more educated, I know that STDs are also a bad thing. And yeah, and I was just too pussy to get condoms because I don't know, and it's just awkward. Like the interaction there at the table, you just see like a freshman. Like imagine working there at a convenience store and then just like a little kid. You just can't help but like smile or laugh. Come on. And I don't want to be humiliated because like how I said last video, I have a big fear of being like humiliated and embarrassed. Yeah, I just we didn't do anything, but we got really close. And this night that we got really close, this changed everything. So basically, actually, before we get into that night, I wanna talk about something else that she did. There was one time where she was going to a football game, or she was at a football game. A bunch of my older friends were there, and these older friends, they were they're not bad, but they were definitely like a little I don't know. They were just they're funny. And apparently they were making her uncomfortable a little bit, and she made it this big deal. But I wasn't able to go. I forgot. I don't know why. I think I just didn't want to go. She eventually told me. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm so uncomfortable," and like shit like that. And I'm like, "What do you want from me right now?" And I just got so stressed to the point where it pushed me to tears. I'm like I didn't tell her I was crying, but like I was crying in front of my sister at least. And I'm like, what does this girl want me to, like I was so confused. Like what does this girl want me to do? And I felt so stressed in that moment. I thought I was actually going to lose her. And I was scared of losing her even through every bad thing that we've been through because it was my first girlfriend and I didn't know if I wasn't going to get this ever again. Spoiler alert, I haven't since that relationship. So yeah, I was just very stressed. Okay, back to the night. Back to the night where we almost did it. It was late. It was the sun was down. I forgot what time it was exactly, but the sun was down. And I was at her place. I think my friend had dropped me off there, you know. We were doing some cool shit. Actually no, I think my friend took me home from her house. I can't really remember. But that night I was at her house. We were getting a little freaky. It was very awkward though. Of course. I really thought we were going to do it then and there, but okay, I'm not going to say too much. But I'm just gonna say we got close to doing it, but I didn't do anything inside. Everything was external. And she like eventually when we were about to, put it in, she was just like, no, 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 wait. Like she had second thoughts and stuff, and I was like, all right. I stepped back, put the peanut away, and we just cuddled the rest of the night until her mom was like about to be home because she tracks her mom. I fled the scene. I didn't even nut. I didn't even like nothing really happened. We just kind of like cuddled like half naked. Not saying that I would like. I mean, I am kind of disappointed, but I don't want to say that because it makes me sound like a dickhead. But I was looking back, I was pretty disappointed. And the worst part is, nah, I'm not gonna do that to her. Let's just say she was grown down there. Let's just say I was Tarzan in that bitch. Okay. Eventually, it got to a point like like the stressful situation I was talking about earlier when she was at the football game getting teased. A bunch of those sort of moments kind of happened. There was not very good communication on both ends, and I just thought I really don't want to put her through this because like obviously I knew, like, I thought in a long term, like, do I really want this? Like, she's begging me for gifts, and I don't really want to spend my money. She's making a big deal out of a lot of things, and she's making me very jealous because she goes to parties a lot. Not a lot, but she does go to parties more than me, which I don't go to parties at all. So one is a lot, or multiple times, maybe two times. And the time we were dating, I think she went to like functions like twice. She would talk about like guys hitting on her, and I'm like, okay. Like obviously I felt really cucked. I felt really bad about the situation because, it's my girl and she's getting hit on by these guys that are probably bigger than me because I'm fucking 5'5" and the whole entire world is bigger than me. It just But like, what can I do, man? What can I do in this moment? Like, I can't just go over to you because I can't drive. I can't just drive there. Can't walk there. I don't even know where the location is. But she's telling me all these things, and it's just making me really jealous and nervous. And like, am I gonna get my bitch took? Is she gonna get fucked tonight? And yeah, after all those moments, I eventually had to hit her up and be like, I know we both can do this. I know you can't do this. I know I can't do this. So let's just break up. And then she cried, and then I cried, and then I hung up, and I felt like a man in that moment. I had broken up with this girl with full confidence. That was the biggest boy thing I've done. It took a lot of heart. It took a lot of effort. Maybe not effort, but it took a lot in me to do that, to call her and do that. Actually, maybe not, because at that point I was pretty like stressed about our relationship, and I kind of wanted it to end before it can get any worse. But it did get worse because listen here. I don't know if she. Oh no, she kind of interacted with with girl number one. Okay, this is the one that I talked about in the beginning. Is girl number one. This my first girlfriend right now. Girl number two. Girl number one and girl number two. I don't know if they directly interacted. They probably have. I just haven't seen it. But girl number two has this friend that I also knew because we had P with this. I can't call her girl number three because I'm saving that for the last girl because I didn't do anything with this one. But this one talked to girl number one before. I know it. So I knew. So they had some ties going on. I knew because okay. Since the school year started, I've been sort of ignoring girl number one because during the summer I was overseas on vacation, and I kept trying to text her, girl number one, which is pretty pathetic because at this point I already knew she was with this. Okay. Here's W number one for Ape Chris right here. I'm pretty sure I texted girl number one just to apologize for like what had happened before, because eventually we just stopped talking in like middle school because obviously she was with the guy, and me and the guy are like, we're cool now. They broken up at this point, or no, not at this point in the story, but like today, like present day, they broken up. The guy has a new girlfriend. I don't know about girl number one. I don't know if she has a new boyfriend or girlfriend. But anyways, yeah, we haven't talked, and I tried to apologize to her when I was overseas, and I try to get a spark going on, even, or not a spark. I just wanted to be like, cause I can't handle when some people have problems with me when I don't want problems with them. Video reference. Anyways, I just wanted some closure. I wanted to be cool with this girl, and eventually I stopped texting her while on vacation. Not because I was on vacation, but just because I would text first all the time and she would never initiate anything, and she didn't seem that ecstatic to talk to me. But the weird thing is, when we went back into so after middle school, after my vacation, went into high school freshman year, I saw her in like the central area of the school, like during lunchtime, and I like said hi, like I waved to her, and she was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, what are you sorry for? Like, in the moment I was like, don't be sorry, but I don't know what she was sorry about. Maybe it's because she didn't really respond. Can't blame her, If you're watching this, I don't blame you. I was pretty weird back then. Okay, I wanted closure, but at the same time, I kind of wanted something a little bit. I knew she was dating this guy, but like, that little voice was telling me, oh, you should probably pursue this, man. You might have a chance, man. But nah, didn't end up happening. That was just pretty sad. So back to girl number two. Girl number one, girl number two, they probably know each other at this point. And ever since girl number one apologized to me, that awkward moment in the central area of the school, the quad. I don't know why I keep saying central area of the school. I'm trying too hard to be discreet, but you really can't be discreet about that stuff. It doesn't really matter if I am. And we haven't talked since that point. Wait, I might have to transition to girl number three now, because girl number three, I'm not going to get too in depth into her. I'm not going to give her her intro right now, but girl number three, basically, she plays a role in this because girl number three told me that girl number two said that night where we almost did something, I raped her. And like, dude, the tip was touching the labias. I wasn't even inside. I was like very outside. And the funny part was, girl number three told me that girl number two told her friends, and the story basically goes, she told her friends that I raped her, and then her friends were like, "Oh, did you tell him to stop? Did you tell him to stop and to not keep going?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then they're like, "Did he stop?" And then she was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Dude, that's not grape. That's not freaking grape. You hear that? That's not grape girl number 2. I was being very appropriate. I stopped when you told me to." And at the moment, I was very scared because that is a very serious thing to say about someone. I didn't want to have to go through the process of like court and stuff. Pretty unnecessary for a freshman to sophomore kid. At this point, I think I was a sophomore. No, we were still freshmen. Yeah, I think that's the craziest part of this story of girl number 2, because I literally, all I wanted to do was just break up and like, carry on the better life. I thought it would have been better for both of us, but apparently she was so affected she had to go out and say serious allegation about me, put a hit out on me. I'm just kidding. No one really came up to me besides girl number 3 about it. And yeah, that was the end of girl number 2. Now girl number 3, she was, at the time, she was a sophomore. She's 1 year older than me. After girl number 2 broke up, we like immediately started talking. Not immediately, actually, because girl number 2, I was talking to girl number 3 while I was dating girl number 2. That probably wasn't that good of a decision by me. There's like really no good explanation. Like I can't say I wanted to be just friends with girl number 3, because at the time girl number 2 was giving me issues and I kind of wanted something to keep my mind off it, and so girl number 3 was there. And girl number 3, she was cool. She was way cooler than girl number 2. And girl number 3, she just basically, cause okay, so when me and girl number 2 were still dating, girl number 3, I was talking to girl number 3, right? But girl number 2 eventually found out that me and girl number 3 were like just chatting. We definitely weren't flirting. We were kind of just chatting. So she basically made girl number 3 block me. That's when all the fun left the function. And girl number 3, eventually, after me and girl number 2 broke up, she unblocked me, and she was like, she told me what happened. She told me that girl number 2 made her block me and stuff like that, and she's like, "I'm sorry," and I'm like, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay." And that is when we started talking. The whole thing was just a little friendship between us. I guess something was arising, but it quickly fell as soon as it risen. And girl number 3 was way more fun than girl number 1 and girl number 2. I think girl number 1 gave me that thrill of like having a crush and stuff. Girl number 2, she gave me my introduction into physical altercations with another girl. Girl number 3, just, I don't know, we were just having a time. We went to amusement parks together. We just did stuff, you know. I don't know, cause like I was gonna call it a talking stage, but I recently just saw like a TikTok about people saying that talking stage isn't real, because at that point it's just basically a friendship and you're just getting to know this person, so it's not a talking stage. But like I don't just want to call it a friendship, because talking stage means like you're kind of like getting there to dating, or you're trying to get to know this person to date. But we never dated. It very quickly died out because she's moving to a different state. It wasn't like sad, like in a sense where I was like crying, but it was very sad to see looking back, because me and girl number 3, she never came over to my house, but I came over to her house to just like chill and hang out. I remember one time after we went to the amusement park together, we were at her house. I greeted her parents at near the door in the living room, and I was like kind of nervous because they're pretty serious. We walked into her room and we were gonna watch something, and her sister was in the room too, but she was just doing her own shit. It was after the amusement park, right? So I felt kind of musty, and I didn't really want to hop on her bed, but so I just kind of sat on the floor without her telling me to. We were gonna watch something, and she's like, "What are you doing on the floor? Like, you had to get up here with me, silly." And I'm like, top Riz moments of all time of Ape Chris. I really felt we had. I was gonna say I really felt we had something there, but no, yeah, actually, I actually did think that something was gonna happen until she told me she was gonna move to a different state, and ever since she said that she was gonna move, the mood shifted. Like, I think it's because she didn't want to hurt me, and at the time I was putting myself in her shoes. I'm like, would I really wait for this guy? Would I really wait for him for Ape Chris for another like 3 years until I graduate and possibly move back to the state that I'm in. Nah, I wouldn't do that. So I kind of let her go pretty easily physically, but mentally I was pretty distraught, dude. I'm gonna come out and say I'll admit it, I cried, but only because girl number 3 was just probably one of the better experiences. Like when it comes to, cause like it actually felt like she was like a friend. Cause girl number 1, girl number 2, they didn't feel like buddies to me, but girl number 3 was a buddy, and I'm grateful for like even meeting her, cause she kind of like eased my mind when I was going through that bullshit with girl number 2 until she blocked me. And girl number 3, she's with a guy now. So can't do anything about that no mo. But it is what it is. I expected that was like one of the first things I was expecting. One of the worst moments, like the last time I was at her house before she kind of like started moving stuff, or like she was starting to pack. We watched something together. It was like the middle of the day. It was not a good setting, but it was like lunchtime probably, and we were watching something. I was about to depart, and I wanted to hug her, and I could tell, number 3, if you're watching, if you can just confirm it for me that you didn't feel like, tell me that you like really didn't want to hug me in that moment. But I tried to go in for a hug because it was like it's like last time I'm gonna see you, of course I'm gonna give you a hug. It's like even if you're freaking moving, your feelings aren't there for me anymore. I'm so grateful for meeting you, so I'm gonna give you a hug. But I can tell in the moment, I saw her face and she said she really didn't want it. I felt it in her grip. I felt it in the way she was hugging me. She didn't want it. She didn't really want to hug me. Hello guys, editor Chris here. I just wanted to add one more thing about girl number 3. There's this moment, or there's this time, around the time where she started losing feelings for me. I don't know, or I don't know what point this was, but it was so traumatic that I just remember the moment, not the time. Or I wanted to watch a movie with her. We were gonna watch A Quiet Place, and I guess there was a miscommunication, and I thought we were going this day, and she wasn't there. She never ended up coming, and she didn't even text me until like around when the movie was over. A very long time. She actually wasn't that good of a replier, probably because she wasn't that into me. I don't blame her for that. I've had my experience with girls who I didn't feel attracted to, and they try to text me, and I just left them undelivered and shit. But dude, I watched that movie, saw the cheapest jump scare of my entire life at the fucking. If you watch the Quiet Place movie, you know the fucking window scene where it was just like out of nowhere for no reason. But yeah. That's all I had to add. And I think she was getting icked, and I'm very sorry for that. But yeah, dude, that was the most awkward. That was the worst ending to that. It was very sad because if I were to, I mean, I deleted the text by this point just because I wanted to let go. But our texts were so like, they were like awkwardly flirty. I would joke to her. Like I would hint like soft launch that I had a crush on her. I'm pretty sure she had mutual feeling for me, but I said like something that was meant to be a joke, but it came out as like something very serious. So I kind of like self-reported unintentionally in that moment. She just like, I didn't know the little situation thing, like our mutual feelings kind of started a lot earlier than I expected because like later on she told me like because I already know you liked me. I'm like, wait, how? And like what you said, and I'm like, oh really? That was a bit of a dumbass moment for me. I think that's about it, dude. Quick rundown. Girl number 1 was exciting. Girl number 2 was physically exciting. Girl number 3 was lit. Girl number 3 was lit. And honestly, I do wish I could apologize to girl number 1, but she wouldn't really let me talk to her. And if I did, even if I did grow some balls and like text her on social media or something, she probably would just like tell all her friends, and then I'll be publicly humiliated by more and more people. Or I'd rather get shitted on by this group of people than give them even more of a reason to shit on me. So Yeah, but I do feel pretty bad for girl number 1, not for girl number 2. You said I raped you. You're a fucking liar. Girl number 3, I don't know, I don't have nothing to say about girl number 3 really. She's just living her life right now, dude. And I'm doing animations. 15K on TikTok, which probably isn't that impressive. It's pretty easy to get attention on TikTok. You just have to post something. But I'm not gonna downplay that. Like, I'm extremely grateful for all my followers on TikTok and Instagram, and all of you who are watching. I'm very grateful. Because I know you follow me for my animations, but the fact that you're coming out here and hearing me talk is saying a lot. You don't really care about the animations. You just care about Ape Chris. But that's nice to think about. Something to take away: don't be too open until you're very close. Which is obviously a no-brainer, but it's something that I think about a lot. It's something that that I've ingrained, that I've tattooed in my brain. Whether it's romantic or not romantic relationships, or you shouldn't get too comfortable in the beginning, because you might weird this person out, and you'll scare them away. But if you're chill guy, then I think it's easier to warm up to someone's weirdness when you've seen their chill, or when you've experienced their chill version. You just have to build up to that moment. Yeah, that's all I have to say, man. Those are my top 3 pursuits in girls in my youngster life, in my gangster life. Not very eventful, not very exciting, I'd say. Pretty average. Maybe even, yeah, pretty average, because like there's people who don't get play at all, which is me at the moment. So that's kind of bad. Not bad, but it's disappointing. Can't wait to look back at this recording and see how dark it's gotten, because I'm recording this in the evening or the afternoon, and it's gradually getting darker. And I can tell it by the way my eyes are reacting right now, because they feel a little sensitive. If you want a girl, go get her. That's what girl number 1 taught me. I never would have thought I would go up to a girl, especially in that chop state I was in freshman year. But I did it, and I got the number. I got the number, dude. I don't think girl number 1 and that guy I was talking about earlier that I'm cool with were anything serious at the time. Or maybe they were. But I was very invasive. So if you want a girl, go get her, unless she's in an obvious relations with another guy. Obviously a no-brainer again, but I was a dumbass. And you can't let love blind you, because young love is very blinding, and you have to think in a more rational sense than you just getting with a person expecting the best. Because you need to expect the worst. Because you need to mentally prepare, and also just physically prepare for the storm that is to come. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. I don't know what the next video is going to be. Type in the comment section what you want it to be. I'm very excited to move. Hopefully I'll been fully moved by the next time I've talked. Yeah. Girl number 1, sorry. Girl number 2, go fuck yourself. Girl number 3, hope you're doing good. Alright. Bye-bye.